Hi, this is Walter Bacon. I'm with my good friend here, Ohad Maislish, CEO of Env0. And for those who don't know Env0 or Ohad, I know when you started your company, you originally said it was a more cost-effective, easier to use alternative to Terraform Cloud. But lately, you've been doing some new things. Tell me what's new with Env0.
Mentioning its alternative to something is one of the things I've mentioned. That all in all, cloud is becoming code, and Env0 is all about providing you managing your cloud with code in scale with confidence. So yeah, HashiCorp and Terraform Cloud is another player in that domain. In the last few months, we had some interesting development in the space. HashiCorp is no longer an open source company, and we are honored to be one of the folks behind a very successful open source named Opentofu, already about 20,000 GitHub stars. And basically, that's the future of
Wow.
infrastructure as code, open source. And yeah, if you have some challenges managing your cloud with code at scale, please check us out at env0.com. If you just want to learn more about infrastructure as code, you can check my podcast, the iacpodcast.com. We have amazing guests on that show as well. So if you want content or an enterprise solution, feel free to reach us out.
Awesome. Awesome. And it's reached a recent milestone. You said it's generally available now, right?
Yeah, Opentofu in January 2024 just announced its general availability with version 1.6. So we are very much excited about being such a mature open source project.
Excellent, excellent. So you and I have worked together for several years. I've been a recruiting partner for you, and so I just wanted to get your feedback. If a CEO friend of yours in the dev tool startup space were to come to you and say, "Hey, who should I use for recruiting and why?" What would you say?
Definitely. So, I think I've counted 6 employees that you recruited for us and a few others who reached very late stage in the process, and additional several offers besides the 6 who actually signed and
Hmm.
joined Env0. And the reason we keep on calling you over and over again to help us with the recruiting is I think it's due to the fact that you're a full stack recruiter. Not sure if there is such a definition, but this is my definition. You first interview the recruiter, the managing recruiter, like myself or an executive in the team. Try to really understand about the job description, more than just a piece of paper, but to understand the nuances. And then you do all the necessary steps, including some very challenging things to do that others often fail. And I'll mention the steps. It starts with, again, understanding the target persona and the profile of the companies they used to work at, the roles they've done, and also understanding that they're in a place that they want to make a change in their career. So you build a very efficient target list of who you're going after. And then, like a salesperson, you creatively and effectively reach out to those folks and get very high engagement from them with a very personalized, customized approach to each individual, and very it's amazing to see how you create a pipeline of those candidates. Then you get on a call with them and you pitch them the company you sell, which is something that very rarely I see recruiters really understand how to know with technical folks that look for the next journey. And it's very helpful when you have this ambassador that can pitch your idea in a good enough way that actually drives engagement. And from there, we get into interaction with the candidate, but it doesn't end there, because you really help to facilitate the process. And in the negotiation and the final stages, you really help to navigate the closure of those engagements. So it's from interviewing the customer up to finalizing an agreement and a signed offer letter. So that's what I call a full stack. You don't need anybody else besides Walter. He will take care of everything in a very efficient and quick process that will save you a lot of time
Mm.
and money to recruit the relevant folks quickly and and, and amazing talent
Got
as
it.
well.
And so you were saying, like really developing a target hit list. So you would say that my knowledge of the dev tool space, it really enables me to come up with the best target list of candidates and prospects in a very fast turnaround time.
Yeah, definitely. It's super helpful when you know what you're doing and you obviously know what you're doing. So instead of explaining 2 hours what we need to do or what we need to search for, you very quickly understand. You've done that over and over again for us and other customers of yours, and then you know how to segment the relevant candidates and approach them in effective way in tailor-made messages that really facilitate the context, the needed context, in order to dramatically increase the response rate.
Mhm. And you've actually used me in multiple different geographies, right?
Yeah, we were surprised to know that even outside of the US, you just do the same process remotely, and it works well. We hired our VP of marketing in EMEA, thanks to you. So we recruited that person, but in addition to that person, you also help us with about 10 other very relevant candidates that were in our pipeline
Hmm.
from all over the world.
Hmm. Excellent. So I like to say that I recruit high impact individuals that make a big difference to the company. Uh, is that a yes? Like, how's my grade on that?
We are very happy that
Oh, good.
we met you, and thanks to you, the company is in a better situation
Oh,
compared to
good,
what we could
good.
have done without you.
Awesome. Well, that's good to hear. Well, I really appreciate those words. And so I look forward to working again on many, many new roles. And just to bring people back around on how to reach you as well and the podcast that you mentioned, can you give those addresses again?
Yeah, sure. You can follow me at DevOps Ohad. That's my Twitter,
Okay.
or our website of the company. It's env0.com, env, the digit
Zero.com.
0.com. And if you just there for the content and the podcast, it's diacpodcast.com, the infrastructure is code podcast.com, and on Spotify and other relevant platforms for podcasts.
Awesome. Okay, well, wishing you fantastic success with Opentofu and everything that you're doing at Env0. Thanks again for the time, and we'll
Th-
talk soon.
Thank you, Otto. It's a real pleasure working with you. Thank you.
Likewise, likewise.